You're watching Bermuda Tonight. It's Tuesday, November the 6th, 2018. I'm Diane Brewer, and thank you for joining us tonight. Rumor and innuendo, nothing more. That's how a senior government official describes talk that Michael Weeks was fired for launching an investigation into goings-on at the Department of Child and Family Services. Gary Moreno brings us up to date in this report.
It was another senior government official closely linked with the Department of Child and Family Services who first suggested to us that Mr. Weeks was let go and his former ministry split up due to that investigation following reports of abuse and other wrongdoing at the department. However, another senior member of the government who today spoke with us on condition of anonymity maintains there was no issue with the investigation and Mr. Weeks was praised for the work done during his tenure in that ministry. According to that source, the announcement on Mr. Weeks and the shifting around or amending of other portfolios was in an effort to ensure that government was meeting its mandate to the people in as expedient and effective a manner as possible. Hence, some ministers had their workload lightened, others increased. Asked why it was felt Mr. Weeks had to be replaced if he was doing such good work, our source responded, the decisions announced last Friday were difficult ones, but things that needed to be done must be done. Government has a platform to deliver on, and in doing so, adjustments will have to be made. They added, while it's unfortunate that Mr. Weeks was relieved of his ministerial responsibilities, it should be noted other ministers have either been demoted or put on probation based on their Premier's realignment of ministerial responsibilities. What's more, cabinet members must understand holding their positions at the table is all about ability and performance. And those not living up to expectations should also be reminded that there are backbenchers ready and capable of replacing them. Elsewhere, our source was adamant if the investigation started during Mr. Weeks' tenure turns up any wrongdoing on the part of any official at the Department of Child and Family Services, the necessary action will be taken to address those findings, and prosecution before the courts, if necessary, will be carried out. Since the security and safety of the island's children are in fact paramount to government. Further, Bermuda Broadcasting News understands the investigation will continue under the new minister and is being handled by an outside entity. We have also been informed that the Department of Internal Audit is currently conducting a review into the Department of Child and Family Services, and that review, we're told, will follow the standards of internal audit and the necessary agencies will be notified as required based on the findings. Gary Moreno, reporting for the Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Meanwhile, Gary got off the phone with Attorney General Kathy Lynn Simmons a short while ago. Mrs. Simmons confirmed that the investigation remains ongoing and also shed light on the situation surrounding the litigation guardians for children.
Gary, I'd like to assure the listening public that the government is committed to ensuring the well-being of our children. That is very important to have in the public domain. I also think it's important to dispel the false narrative regarding the Child and Family Services investigation. The investigation is ongoing. The Department of Internal Audit is engaged in determining whether the department's policies and procedures are followed, and their findings will be provided to the Permanent Secretary. With regard to the issues surrounding the litigation guardian, that matter was before the Supreme Court, and the court determined that we have no legal obligation to pay Ms. Thomas. Ms. Thomas has launched an appeal with regard to that decision, and therefore we're not authorized to discuss that any further. However, the representation of the children and their interests in proceedings before the courts will be ensured, as we have other persons who have come forward to provide their services. So we are very committed to ensuring that our children are always protected in legal proceedings and otherwise. I am very pleased to have this ministry under this department, I should say, under my remit, and I have been out in the field making sure that our facilities are appropriate for our children, and our work will continue. So to the listening public, be assured that this government is committed to ensuring that our children are protected, safe, and well.
In other news, more questions than answers. This time it concerns government's pledge to provide free health care for seniors over the age of 90. Government made the pledge recently after acknowledging the island's aging population. However, Patricia Gordon-Pamplin, the shadow health minister, says the government must first ensure such a plan is sustainable. Troy Trott reports.
Free health care for seniors aged 90 and above is a great gesture, says Patricia Gordon-Pamplin. But there are steps, she says, that have to be first taken to ensure the offer is sustainable.
Free health care is a good thing. Anything free is good. But the reality of our taxation system and the reality of our economy is such that we do not have the benefit of full income tax, so that there's money constantly coming into the kitty in order to have funds available for paying out. So that is going to be one of the considerations that the government will have to look at in order to have a sustainable free anything.
Mrs. Gordon-Pamplin, a minister in the former One Bermuda Alliance government, says the PLP has a track record of making big promises.
The government, when they were the previous government and now again, they seem to have an approach in which they announce all kinds of fancy things for the electorate because it sounds exciting, but there's no support behind it.
And before free health care for seniors over 90 can be offered, the OBA MP says government must first conduct its due diligence.
I would want to see an actuarial report. There was a report that came out from the Statistical Department very recently in which the Statistical Department reminded the government of the aging population that we have. So what will happen is that there will be far more claims. As people get older, the possibilities of claims will increase, the incidence of claims increase, and therefore the costs will increase. And the question begs, where is the actuarial study that would support the commitment, and is it sustainable? I would like nothing better to know that we can look after our seniors, and certainly those over 90, but I just don't want to make that kind of commitment if it's something that can only be accommodated on a very short-term basis, because I think it's unfair to the seniors to have that expectation and find that their desires and their wishes are thwarted.
Mrs. Gordon-Pamplin believes any offer of free health care to seniors should also be means-tested to ensure only those seniors who can't afford such care are entitled to the benefit.
If you look at how Future Care was implemented by the former PLP government, it was done in an unfair way. When we became the government, we actually looked at Future Care and the premiums and decided that it needed to be equitable, that you needed to be able to pay the same amount for the same services.
Some still ask, will Bermuda ever be in a position to implement a free national health care system as the UK has done?
I don't think it will, and here's the reason why. Our population is not sufficiently large, and our taxation base is not sufficiently strong to support it. The UK, with their national health care, is only able to afford a national health plan. It's predicated upon money coming into the budget from income tax. We don't have income tax.
And we'll have more for you after this short break, including all the latest weather news. Stay with us.
Shopping online? The cheapest and easiest way to bring your packages to Bermuda is with U.S. Express at mailboxes.
I've been a U.S. Express customer for a long, long time, and I stay a customer because it's fast, easy, and convenient.
You get the automatic call when your package is here, and just the pickup is easy. The street's not too crazy there, but you can just swing by, boom, down the steps, get your package, and off you go.
Sign up for a U.S. Express account at www.mailboxesunlimited.com today.
You can count on us.
Save $1.70 on value pack fresh Purdue chicken thighs or drumsticks, only $1.99 per pound. Butternut, acorn, or spaghetti squash, just $1.99 per pound. Only 99 cents for select varieties of 6-ounce Yoplait yogurt. Juicy savings of $1.16 on ShopRite apple juice. $3.19 for a 64-ounce bottle. Charmin Ultra Strong or soft toilet tissue. $5.19 for a 4-pack roll. Visit our website at www.marketplace.bm for more exciting flyer specials.
You can count on us.
From the very beginning, it was always our singular focus to do whatever it takes, use every possible resource to fight cancer, and never lose sight of the patients we're fighting for. Our cancer treatment specialists share the same vision. Experts from all over the world working closely together to deliver truly personalized cancer care. And these are the specialists we're proud to call our own. Expert medicine works here. Learn more at cancercenter.com. Appointments available now.
Welcome back. Well, the announcement that cryptocurrency exchange company Arbitrate has purchased the Victoria Hall building is being touted as an indication that the government's fintech initiative is beginning to take shape. Be that as it may, opposition MP Michael Dunkley is still skeptical about the company.
Well, that's what they've said, and that's what the Premier has supposedly confirmed. I'm still very skeptical about the company, even though it appears they might have bought the building. There still has to be a lot of ground that has to be covered in this area. You know, they've refused to talk to the media about it. Well, if you bought a building in Bermuda, wouldn't you be interested in telling people that you have bought it and why you bought it? And it appears to go against the grain of what the PLP has said. They've sold off a big asset in town to an overseas company that really doesn't have a track record that we can count on to be successful. It goes against the grain of what the PLP has always said, putting Bermudians first. Clearly, in this case, that hasn't happened. I'm still skeptical about the whole issue of cryptocurrency. It's not going to be the savior of Bermuda in any way. And you'll recall, Mike, I asked questions to the Premier in the House of Assembly during the question period in July about the principals of Arbitrate, who he met with, who's their local contact. He couldn't recall who they were. So now he signed off on a license to buy the building. I hope he knows who they are now, because we need to make sure that with confidence down in Bermuda, with us trying to grow more business in Bermuda, that we bring people into our country, have them contribute to our country, that we know who they are, that they have a reputation for doing the right thing, and that they will put Bermudians first. Because in all this talk of Bitcoin, and the government's been consumed with that for the last 10 or 12 months. I'm still skeptical that, one, it will last, two, it will be sustainable, three, that Bermudians won't get burned, and four, that it won't create more than a handful of jobs for Bermudians, when the government's already said they're going to give out 5 work permits to every company that sets up here. We need jobs for Bermudians.
In other news this evening, a 49-year-old Devonshire woman injured during yesterday's crash at Barker's Hill roundabout has been discharged from hospital. Police say the woman riding her motorcycle and a car driver involved were attempting to negotiate the roundabout when the collision occurred during rush hour on Monday evening. The rider was taken to the hospital for treatment, while the 42-year-old car driver from St. George's was arrested on suspicion of impaired driving. He later passed the alcohol analyzer test at the Hamilton Police Station and was released from police custody pending further inquiries. Any witnesses that have not already come forward are asked to contact the main police telephone number at 295-0011. Well, turning to weather news, another beautiful day today. And as we can see from the image taken a brief time ago from our tower cam, yet another gorgeous sunset. Let's go to AccuWeather headquarters to see what the rest of our work week looks like.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
This AccuWeather forecast is brought to us by our friends at the BF&M Insurance Group, and we have a somewhat disturbed weather pattern headed our way over the next few days. You can see there are some clouds already generally in the sky. Hasn't been a bad time, but we're keeping an eye on this area of low pressure to the southeast and also a front approaching from the west. You can see there are some showers, a good number of them, mainly to the west. Some of these are getting a little closer, but this troublemaker to the southeast will also bring us some moisture as we move forward. We're at 76 degrees right now, and humidity's up a bit, around 80%. Winds from the southeast at around 10 knots. Winds are light enough that we're not dealing with any huge waves. Waves on the inside are around 1 to 2 feet. On the outside, we do have 3 to 6 footers out there, and the water temperature is holding about steady this week thus far at around 75 degrees. So no major weather hurdles for our boating friends, no advisories for the marine folks, but we do have a high tide coming up at 7:33 this evening, low tide just after midnight, another high tide at 7:56 Wednesday morning, and then a low tide into the early afternoon on Wednesday. So tonight, partly cloudy, and we're in fair shape tonight, 71 for your low. Most of the showers should still stay away, and tomorrow we'll go with intervals of sun and clouds, or clouds and sun. But that will probably be the final really dry day. You'll notice that the chance for showers will creep up in our forecast a bit as this upper level low pressure system gets a little closer. The front from the west also gets a little closer. So we're still dry through Wednesday, squeaking through without much trouble. But then into Thursday, we need to think about the chance for a brief shower. Much better chance then on Friday. Looking at the Caribbean, in Jamaica, we're in good shape. 90 degrees. The heat's still on there. Into Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, scattered showers here and there. No tropical threats, though, and that's certainly some good news. Into eastern North America, it is much cooler, and we're going to turn even colder later this week in places like Toronto. New York, 60 degrees, but chillier weather is soon headed into New York and Boston after the wet weather on Tuesday. Wednesday's looking drier there. Atlanta, some showers. Miami's 86, beginning to cool down just a little bit. We have some fall-like weather with some showers into London. So here we are, and we do want to mention the chance for a few spotty showers, especially Thursday afternoon. But then the chance for rain really ramps up on Friday, and Saturday and Sunday we will be downright wet out there with off and on periods of rain and a little bit in the way of cooler air as well. Daytime highs will be in the mid to upper 70s. Lows may drop a couple of degrees into Sunday. There may even be some thunder into the Sunday forecast, so just keep that in the back of your mind. So enjoy this nice weather while we have it, because looking a little farther down the pike, things will become a little more disruptive from a weather standpoint. We're going to send it back to you.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
It's hurricane season. Here are some tips from BF&M. Before a storm, make sure you have a family plan. Stock up on food and water and protect your home. Board up and make sure your insurance policies are up to date. After a storm, check everyone's safety, especially seniors. Inspect your property and secure from further damage. Then note the damages, list, and take photos. Remember, you can always count on BF&M 24/7 during hurricane season and all year round.
Win a trip or two to the 2019 Trinidad Carnival. When you purchase a car from Bermuda Motors, your name will be entered into a draw for a chance to win an all-expenses-paid trip for two, including flights, accommodation, and tickets to the Trinidad Carnival. Visit Bermuda Motors on Church Street or bermudamotors.bm.
Christmas in Bermuda is a special time for most of us. Unfortunately, for some families in Bermuda, there's no warm Christmas. This year, many families will be in need. It's the 30th anniversary of the Lions Clubs of Bermuda and the Marketplace, helping share the Christmas spirit, so let's help take care of each other. Shop at any Marketplace, shopping center, Modern Mart, or A1 stores and purchase extra tins of non-perishable items. Once you have purchased these items, place your food donation into Santa's bin located at the front of the store. The Lions Clubs will collect your food contributions and assemble them into hampers to be delivered to the families in need around the island. Christmas comes once a year. Help make it a special time for every family in Bermuda. Sponsored in part by the Bermuda Broadcasting Company. Share the Christmas spirit.
If you had a chance to determine how the island will be powered in decades to come, would you share it? Well, now's the time, as the deadline for the energy IRP process draws near. One proposal says we should move away from the use of fossil fuel energy, as Green Rock and BE Solar will be hosting a public meeting on Thursday, November 8th at St. Paul's AME in Hamilton from 5:30 p.m. to discuss.
The main aim of Thursday's meeting is to make people aware of the energy IRP process.
What we don't want is for this to happen, and then everyone's looking back and saying, oh man, only if, we should have. And these are the things that happen on a regular basis. And that's what we're hoping to avoid by providing this opportunity for people to come and get the information and get involved with the process.
Green Rock is backing BE Solar's proposal, one of 8 plans put forth to the regulatory authority.
The biggest thing is reducing electricity costs, is having more local energy, which is free energy, that we just need the right technology to harness, technology that's been proven for decades all over the world and here in Bermuda. We've had solar systems here since the 80s, Bermuda has. And the other point of it is that when you keep more money in the local economy, you keep more of those hard-earned U.S. dollars that we earn from just going out of our country to buy foreign fossil fuels.
It finds the cost of bulk solar, offshore wind, and distributed solar to be cheaper than building a new $140 million LNG plant or using fuel oil.
A few weeks ago in Boston, there was an explosion, a bunch of houses got damaged, a couple of people died. You need a mile radius around a plant like this. These things are scary for Bermuda and for our children. I don't want to see Bermuda locked into electricity rates because they've gotten permission to have a debt like that, and then it becomes a stranded asset because solar and wind are so much cheaper anyway. I will be very, I think it will be a real shame if we keep falling behind our island nations like Jamaica, who's just pledged 50% renewable energy by 2030.
Even students participating in the eco schools and young reporters for the environment projects are taking note.
They are more interested in the environment because they understand that their access to clean energy, to quality air, to clean water is impacted by the decisions that we make today. So if Bermuda decides to go with a route that sees us use liquid natural gas, then that means that we will be 20 to 30 years behind the rest of the world.
Kendry Burgess of the Chamber of Commerce will present findings on a Bermudians University study into our economy and energy, while the UK-based company Etude, who were commissioned by BE Solar to develop the Bermuda Better Energy Plan, will be on hand to answer questions. Green Rock stresses the importance of getting involved before it's too late.
We're here representing the everyday person who wakes up, goes to work every day, comes in, the end of the month you're paying your bills, and one of those large bills is a Belco bill. And we want to see that bill go down. We don't want a situation where we're locked into buying high energy for years. So that's why we're trying to make this opportunity available, and we want everyone to come out.
The deadline for submissions to the RA's Energy IRP process is Friday, November 30th at 5:30.
Once again, that public meeting will take place this Thursday at St. Paul's AME Hall at 5:30 p.m. Well, Earl Basin will have all the latest sports news in just a few minutes. We'll be right back.
You can count on us.
Save $2 on all varieties of imported potatoes, just $3.99 for a 5-pound bag. Fresh certified Angus beef, boneless ribeye steaks, $15.99 per pound. Tama spaghetti, just $1.79 for a 500-gram package. Inno Foods organic coconut clusters, $11.99 for a 16-ounce package. Save $2 on Halo Top ice cream, $6.99 for a 1-pint tub. All stores open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
I'm Tony Waterman. Coming up on The Breakdown this week. Sustainable investing. Investors putting their money behind companies doing social good. But how profitable is it? We'll find out. It receives millions of dollars in government funding. So what sort of return on investment does the Bermuda Business Development Agency produce? I have an interview with interim CEO Sean Moran. Plus, what's all the buzz about? It sounds like a computer. The tourism app unlocking some of the most bespoke experiences on island. A sit-down with Winnow co-founder Allison Swan. That's Thursday at 8 p.m. on ZBM TV 9.
We are the voices.
You are with the captain.
It's Mr. Midday.
12 new major news.
The big station.
The morning show.
The #1 song.
The Faces.
You're watching Bermuda Tonight.
This is exactly what you're talking about.
What an upset it was.
The Storytellers.
They are actually using the pepper spray.
Police are aware of this theory.
The water is 3,500 meters deep.
The tax climbs up to 12.5%.
The window on our community.
We bring you the best in U.S. television entertainment.
And the greatest sporting events in the world.
A brilliant performance from Duffy.
We are the island's only Bermudian-owned broadcaster of both television and radio.
With the only TV channels that are available over the air in beautiful high definition, completely free.
We are always expanding.
We are always innovating.
And most important, we're always your station.
This is Bermuda Broadcasting.
Turning to sports, the Rugby Classic continued at the National Sports Center. Bermuda youngsters helped their college win a championship, and Madeline Moore helps her school win a swim meet. Earl Basin has tonight's sports package.
Day 2 at the World Rugby Classic ran a script with the two favorites advancing to the main semi-final. In the opener, the Classic Lions would defeat Italy 20-13. Italy would take advantage of having the win at their backs in the first half. Daniel Paspan would go over for a try early, and Romero Pez would kick the conversion to give Italy a 7-0 lead. Pez would then add a penalty kick, making it 10-0. The Classic Lions would pull within 3 when Garth King scored a try, and then Kerry Sweeney added the conversion to make the score 10-7. Pez would kick another penalty for Italy to lead at halftime 13-7. The Classic Lions would completely shut out Italy in the second half, and they would get a penalty kick from Sweeney, which was followed by a Richard Carter try and a Sweeney conversion that gave the Classic Lions a 17-13 lead. Sweeney would add one more penalty kick to make the final score 20-13. In the nightcap, the defending champions Argentina put on a show in defeating USA 41-7. Argentina would get 2 tries from Sebastian Crispo, while Rafael Carballo, Federico Brock, Mariko Jimenez, and Mariko Comunzi all added a try each. Gonzalo Tabado would kick 4 conversions and a penalty. The USA would get a try from Ian Carpenter, and Maximo Di Alchovad would add the conversion. The Thomas College men's soccer team claimed their 5th North Atlantic Conference title in the program's history after they defeated Sonny Canton 1-0 in the finals. Thomas College men's soccer features 7 Bermuda players on their roster that include Mikhail Walker, Justin Bell, Jazade Samuels, Tequilo Burgess, Zanawi Bowen, Javed Warren Smith, and Darren Woolridge. In their semifinal, Thomas College scored twice in the first 16 minutes to take a 2-1 North Atlantic Conference win over Husson and move into the finals. Madeline Moore and her Northern Colorado swimming and diving teammates competed in a dual meet against Air Force and Grand Canyon, hosted by Air Force Academy. Northern Colorado continued their winning ways, defeating the host Air Force 125.5 to 117.5. They would also get by Grand Canyon 134 to 107. Moore swam the anchor leg for Northern Colorado in the women's 200-yard medley relay and finished second with a time of 1:46.17. Moore clocked a winning time of 23:65 during the women's 50-yard freestyle. Moore would lead off the Northern Colorado women's 200-yard freestyle relay team that would clock a winning time of 1:35.39. 2 Bermuda golfers are doing battle in the East Bay Daly Classic. Walker Campbell is representing William & Mary, while Arik Douglas is representing Hampton University. After 2 rounds, Campbell is 4 strokes off the leader. This after rounds of 3 over par 75 and 4 under par 68 for a total of 1 under par 143. Campbell's second round consists of 5 birdies, 12 pars, and 1 bogey. Douglas is currently tied 97th after rounds of 6 over par 78 and 8 over par 80 that sees him at 14 over par 158. Douglas shot 4 birdies in his second round to go along with 6 pars, 5 bogeys, 2 double bogeys, and 1 triple bogey. Trey Simons ran to a second-place finish, competing in the 2018 SIAC Cross Country Championships. Competing among 80 participants in the 8K distance event, Simons, representing Morehouse College, clocked a time of 25:40. At stumps during round 3 and day 1 action, Kamal Levrock and his Walkerville Cricket Club teammates trailed by 130 runs with 9 wickets in hand against Grange. Batting first, Grange were bowled out for 162. Curtis Cox was their top scorer with 40. Levrock finished with figures of 15 overs, 3 maidens, 2 for 40. At stumps, in reply, Walkerville had reached 32 for 1. Taylor Carrick concluded flying the Bermuda flag at the Belgium Junior Squash Open. Playing in the under-17 division, Carrick was in action on the final day. He would defeat Tofo Macalfai from France, who was the 3rd seed in 4 games, to finish 5th overall. In freezing Brooklyn Lair Continental Bowling League action at the Work Lanes last evening, it saw the Bermuda Pest Control defeat the Underdogs 26-4. The Cubs got by New Hope 21-9, while the Old Bulls defeated the Pinjammers 28-2. Quickie Laundry defeated the Nifty Rollers 24-6, and the Invaders got by the Spice Nicks 19-11. I'm Earl Basden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
Thanks, Earl. Well, that's our newscast on this Tuesday evening. I'm Diane Brewer. Thank you for joining us. Good night.